Hello, and welcome to My Streaming Bubble, the podcast where I talk about the shows I love with the people I tolerate. I'm your TV watching and talking host, Jen, and back in the bubble today is a fellow show watcher and talker, and boy is she. She's the fancy to my schmancy, a chronic shipper. Meg from Behead is back. Welcome, Meg. I've missed having you on.
The crowd goes, hi! The crowd goes wild. You know, it's so funny. You and I do watch a lot of the same stuff, but it's so hard for us to find stuff for this to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it's like, we'll go through a list and be like, how about this? No. Or how about this one? Oh, I'm doing that with somebody else. And
Yeah.
just a couple of watchers and yappers. Yep. Yapping and watching.
Yep. I am very excited to have you back. It has been way too long. What was the last one? Queen Charlotte?
It was a Bridgerton one, I think. Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm so excited to be back.
Yeah, it was the not Queen Charlotte, but the next season of Bridgerton.
Penelope and Colin.
Yep, that's right. So, okay. God, that still was like forever ago.
I know, and we have like 800 years until the next season.
Oh, God.
Stupid Netflix, and they're stupid. All you streamers, just go back to network TV.
Oh, my God. I am like this close to going back to cable because streaming is just pissing me off, but that's for another time because we got to talk about a show that's got 6 seasons and like the 20 plus episodes.
Hasn't been on in almost a decade.
I know.
And I feel like it's so forgotten in the zeitgeist and it makes me so sad.
Oh. I had actually kind of forgotten about the show as well, but like you said, it's on TV all the time, and we
watched this live together.
I know. I went back to see like how many tweets I had, just 2, and I'm like, oh, everything is in Google Chat.
Our Google Chat, yeah, our Google Hangout.
Yes,
yeah, because when this was airing, we talked about it a lot.
Yes,
like a total normal amount.
Totally normal people do. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and get right into it because, like I said, we are show watchers and very much talkers, and this is quite the series. And the series we are talking about today is Grimm. You guys remember Grimm? It was a show that was on.
The scarier and, in my frankly opinion, better fairy tale show than Once Upon a Time.
It's kind of weird, right? Because like
they started at the same time.
And like Once Upon a Time started strong and ended weak, and Grimm starts weak and ends strong. It's almost like the Doctor and Rivers timeline going in reverse. Gotta bring up the Doctor.
I always liked Grimm though, because it did feel a lot less. I think like I didn't have anything against Once Upon a Time, but it being on ABC, and especially towards the end, got so Disney-fied.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really a bunch of like kind of campy and super out there, which is all well and good, but it just was so over the top. And this was over the top, but in a darker, grimmer. Grimmer like way, and in between like that and like Supernatural, it kind of it scratched an itch a bit more for me than Once Upon a Time. But I still watched Once Upon a Time until like the last season. Once they were like, we're gonna jump in time, and all the characters that you really liked, they're not there anymore. And I'm like, well, great. What's the point? I don't care about Henry. Like I never cared about that damn kid.
The last time I rewatched once, I did not watch the last season. Like I try to, because I can be a completist sometimes, but I'm like, no, this is just bad. I don't like any of this. So I did not finish it. I should at least watch the musical episode because for good or bad, I am a fucking slut for random ass musical episodes.
God, that's what made me stop watching Grey's Anatomy. The musical was too far for me. I couldn't do it after.
They did a musical episode? How just one or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I watched it and I was like, well, that's it for me.
I've never watched Grey's Anatomy.
It was a nice run.
It You guys had fun, fond memories, but time to put it
I didn't like it enough to put up with it after that. It was like when it was all dumb. Anyway, back to Grimm.
Back to Grimm. So we'll go ahead and get started. So consider this your spoiler warning. I don't have a lot of content warnings, like just side characters with no development, some kidnapping. I don't know, mistreatment of side characters.
There's some KKK-esque, but Wesen related racism and stuff like that. But it's all it's Wesen stuff versus
so it doesn't matter. No
humans, but it has real strong KKK vibes.
Absolutely. 100%. So the Wesenism is strong in the one season. So, all right, what IMDb says about this show: a homicide detective discovers he is a descendant of hunters who fight supernatural forces. And what I says about this show, I says it's like Law and Order minus the order plus Once Upon a Time plus Supernatural. So it's like this little bebe of a thruple of shows.
A baby of a throuple.
It was created by Stephen Carpenter, David Greenwald, and Jim Koof, directed by a lot of people, and it stars David Guintoli, Russell Hornsby, Silas Weir-Mitchell, Sasha Roiz. I don't think I said that right. Roiz.
Sasha Rose. I don't know.
Rose. I'm just going to try and pronounce the two.
He's hot and mean.
The two vowels. Yeah, he's okay. Reggie Lee, Elizabeth Tulloch, Bree Turner. Wow, mouth, come on. Claire Coffey and Damian Puckler, just to name a few. It's streamable on Roku, CW, Paramount, Prime, Peacock. You can rent or buy on various streamers. But most importantly, God damn. But most importantly, it's free at your local library. So, all right, let's fucking do this. Meg, what are your general thoughts on this series?
I think I touched a lot on them already. I really love it. It's a show that it's on TV all the time now. I think you can watch it on Ion. I think it is, or Comet, or one of those things, because I still have cable because I'm an old. Like, I wanted to watch live TV, and Hulu jumped to like $89.99 or something like that a month for live TV, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get cable for $20 more than my internet bill. And then I moved on. But no, I like it. I like it's darker. It's got some grittiness to it. It also still has like a lot of the silly and ridiculous to it. It has, like, for me, one of the best enemies to lovers ship tropes that are like actual starting out as enemies and where they end up at the end. I love it. I think it's a fun show. I wish more people watched it. I wish more people had watched it when it was on, because I was surprised it got 6 seasons, because it was not like a super highly rated show. It was like a Friday night show that was it NBC? I can't remember. I can't even remember what channel it aired on.
I don't remember.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Let's take
Paramount. So that is NBC, right? That's the Peacock. No, not sorry. I'm thinking Peacock. I guess it doesn't
Peacock's matter. NBC. Now I'm going to look, though.
You go ahead and look. So I will share my general thoughts on the series. Yeah, you and I used to watch this when it was live, and we'd chat back and forth in the Google chat. And I remember I fucking loved this show. Like you said,
it was NBC.
Okay. We were right. Woohoo! We know our networks.
I just knew it wasn't ABC.
I knew it wasn't ABC, and I knew it wasn't CBS because I watch almost nothing on CBS.
CBS is the old people channel.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
And I might be an old, but I'm not CBS
and
old.
It wasn't Fox because it lasted for more than a season, and they aired all the episodes in order, so we can still bitter. I will never not be bitter.
Dude, it's so fucked up. Yeah, I agree. Oh.
25 years later, I'm still mad.
Oh my God. As you should be. As we all should be. Anyway,
back to your thoughts.
Loved this show. But when I went to, and so like you said, it's on like streaming, or it's on live TV like almost always. And that's when I caught it. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this show. And I started watching it. And so then when we just were discussing recording, you're like, let's do Grimm. And I was like, okay. And then so I did a proper rewatch, started from the first episode. And that I was seriously through that first season, I was like, what did I like about this? Like, don't get me wrong, there were things, but I was like, this is overall, I didn't think the writing was that great. I thought the acting was kind of things got better. The things I liked about season 1 was just more ties to the fairy tale stuff. Which that's what I really liked. And then just, all the Wesen and Monroe and Rosalie. So I think that was the big hook for me. But as the series went on, as I continued my rewatch, it kind of got to a point where I'm like, this show is so goofy and Looney Tunes, but also like I can't stop thinking about it and I need more. So, and it's still like a solid like 7, high 7 for me.
Yeah, it's got 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.9 on IMDb rating. And yeah, it is a little... It's funny because when I do rewatch it, and it is one of those things where if I see it on TV, I'll watch it. I'll always sit down, but I'm a lot more likely to sit and keep watching it if it's like season 3 on. Like, I love Monroe holds this show together in the first season. Like, he really, really does. He is fantastic. Silas Weir Mitchell is just, she's wonderful. And I think once Bree Turner comes in as Rosalie, that's really feels like when the show starts to gel a lot more, because Monroe and Rosalie's relationship is just goals. Like, they're fantastic together. For me, I think it really starts to pick up when Juliet goes bad. Because I found her really annoying as Nick's girlfriend. And not even because, and this was before I had like this Adeline Nick thing that I was very much into from the beginning. Like she was the first person he saw like Vogue, and I was like,
And he just hated her so much.
They hated each other like
so much. I will say, I don't mind the Nick and Adeline enemies to lovers. And it's like, yes, Nick hated her like a lot and she did some crazy shit or whatever. I just feel like they didn't do enough to kind of lean into the enemies part, because like for the first few seasons, she's got her own problems, you know, like she loses her Hexen beastiness.
But how does she lose her Hexen beast?
And that's the thing. So they kiss, right?
No, they're fighting.
But
then she bites his mouth and he bleeds.
Goes in to kiss her.
I don't remember.
Yes. And it's like, he was like on, like they were on the ground and I don't know, he was like over her. And then he went
in to kiss her because ingesting his blood is what would he knew that's what would take away her powers.
Did he know that? Because he's kind of a bad Grimm in the first season.
No, he knew that. She didn't really realize it. And then so she loses her mother because her mom disowns her after she loses her power. She has this baby that she has taken away from her. Like, there's plenty of enemies in the enemies to lovers. They really go hard and hate each other. She disguises. And okay, the dubious consent aside of her turning herself into Juliet to take away his Grimm powers.
That's a content warning.
There it is. There it is. Womp womp. But there's a lot there. They're they kind of destroy each other's lives in the beginning.
Well, yes, there's a lot there that they're kind of doing to each other, going back and forth. But I don't know. I didn't really get enough of yes, they hated whenever mom. It's but I don't know. It's like all these things were happening that they were doing to each other, but indirectly-ish. I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't enough of those two having face-to-face contact and hating each other as there could have been. I also kind of felt with Juliet, first time I watched it, she annoyed me. This rewatch, I was like, she's really not that bad. She's just maybe a little too eager. And so I don't know. The whole thing with her switching to Eve, and I love Eve, that's fine. but it's like she gets Hex and Beast powers and everything, and so she starts to become like a major cunt, and then just goes and like fucks Renard for whatever reason. And it's like that, I didn't like how, like, none of that made sense because they were so tight. Now, if the memory loss of Juliet had more of an impact,
which was Adeline's doing.
Yes. But it's like, but if that had more of an impact on her and Nick's relationship, Juliet and Nick, as more of like a wedge or a strain, then I wouldn't have the issue of her as she's transitioning into a Hexen Beast, her being mad at everybody and blaming everyone for doing this to her.
Well, that's because I think what killed me about that whole thing, like, I loved her being such a bitch. I hated her, but I liked it. I don't know. I liked Juliet much more as either Eve or straight up evil, because it felt like she wasn't just kind of tagging along for a lot of stuff. Like in the beginning, it was very much, so much stuff was just happening to her. And apparently you need to be bad to have, like, what the hell's the word? To be proactive about stuff. But she was pissed at everybody. And it killed me though, because she was mad at because when Adeline took away Nick's Grimm powers, they found out the only way for Nick to get them back was to reverse the spell with Juliet. And everyone said, we do not know what ramifications there are to this. We don't know if it's going to work. We don't know if there's going to be any big consequences. We don't know anything. She agreed to it. Nick had said, like, and she agreed to it because of the Vesin KKK, whose names I can't remember off the top of my head, because Rosalie and Monroe were in danger, basically. So I understand that she maybe felt coerced into it, not necessarily by people, but by the circumstances. But she agreed to it.
It was her idea.
And then she got pissed about at everybody else about the consequences and didn't take any responsibility for herself with it.
Exactly.
And that's where I was like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah.
See, and again, if there had been more of a wedge and Nick and Juliet were starting to kind of grow more apart by that point, then I think I would have had an easier time with it. But I'm just like, you have been, aside from the memory loss, you've been all about, Nick and supporting him, especially after she finds out and everything. And I don't know. I just feel like there could have been more angst and drama. And
I could see that. I think the thing they were trying to show was like just the Hexen Beast itself was so corrupting that, because it was insane to me. No matter how mad she is at everybody, she really is going to kill Nick's mom.
And like, I know Nick's mom didn't have like a major role in this, but an off-screen death, really, first time watching, I was half expecting his mom to actually showing up. Just being like, I faked it because I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
It was the head in the box really kind of told me it was kind of it was kind of over.
I was like, it's not real.
Yeah. But it killed, like we talk about the end seasons being stronger, and I think overall they are, especially from a character perspective. I do kind of hate the giant global aspect that a lot of the stuff gets to. Like, I liked it in the beginning. The part I liked in the beginning was the kind of the smaller case by case things. And obviously when a season show goes on, you need to build on it and build on it and build on it. But like, how many worldwide corrupt Vesin things are there?
So
many. There's like Black Claw.
And just the Royals.
The Royals are just there, and then there's the Council, which aren't evil, but they're not great.
Yep. The Virat.
The Virat. Like, how many? And what is going? It's like these people are like, I don't like your rules. I'm going to start my own club, and they just kept doing it over and over and over again. And then the Templars come into it, and it's a whole world-ending situation, which I actually really loved the finale. I know some people didn't like it, but I loved it. Finale.
On the rewatch, I loved it.
Closure.
And it's like rewatching this show. I'm like, I it's wild how much I did not remember. Like I remembered a lot of the first season, kind of little things here and there. But I was like, I didn't remember the finale. So like when Hank and Wu got shot, I was like, what? I was like, why wouldn't I remember that? And so as more people kept dying, once it got to Adeline and then Rosalie, I was like, this isn't real. It took me that long.
I mean, it was real, but yeah, it wasn't the actual ending. But God, I remember watching it when it like, I was so mad. I'm like, what do you, because they kill Wu and Hank, and then that's it. You don't know anything till the next episode. And I think part of what was made a little more difficult to watch now for us, and especially in the beginning, is we have gotten used to a binging kind of situation. And this was a week by week show that we watched, and we had a week in between episodes. So it didn't feel quite as like,
Yes, I completely agree. Because like, even just like throughout the whole series, like I loved kind of like this mystery of the keys and it makes a map and everything. But it felt like each piece in each season was just like, oh shit, we brought that up last season. We got to do something with this.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was just the most like ad hoc shit ever. And I'm like, this feels really kind of sloppy. I'm here for it. And I loved when they went to Germany and, you know, when they finally got
messy bitches.
We are fancy and schmancy and we messy.
Messy bitches who like bitches. Mess.
But it just kind of had that weird feeling of like, this just doesn't feel really planned out or plotted out. And maybe it was, and I don't know, maybe if I rewatch it again, it'll be fine. But I was like, things just kind of seem like, oh yes. And then there's this. And then, oh yeah, we got to bring this in. And
well, I feel like they were on the bubble for so much of their run too, that they're like, okay, we got to figure out a way to feasibly wrap this stuff up by the end of the season. And then like, oh shit. We got another season. So now we have to try and figure out the threads that we can make it go from and how to expand on. And I think that's how we have the Virat, the Royals, the Council, and then the Resistance. We didn't even get into like Meisner, who, why do we not see that hot man more? Why did he have to die?
I don't know. That wasn't
so
nice.
Attractive.
So hot.
And oh my God. He was nice to everyone except the people he murdered.
Yes. But when him and
what was
Nick,
his deal?
it doesn't matter because he's hot. But like when he and Nick finally meet and, you know, they're buddy fighting and everything, I was like, gush.
Yeah, right. I'm like, ooh, Adeline, you got good taste.
About slipped off the couch. No, that's gross. But it was kind of hot.
Yeah, everyone on the show is attractive. It's not fair.
Agreed. Agreed.
But yeah, I don't know. I love the show. It's just so ridiculous. But it takes itself seriously, but not like so seriously.
Too seriously. Yep.
That you're like, there's no joy and there's no fun in it.
Yeah. I did like, especially in like the early seasons, like season 1 and 2, and they kind of brought it back a little bit in the later seasons, but just kind of like the little sassy, you know, black screen with the like, oh, to be continued. You should have seen that coming. Like just these little sassy bits. I was like, oh, you. And
oh, you.
You Grimms. You silly Grimms.
Silly. No, as long as Bud exists in the Grimm world, it can't be too dark. Because I can't believe they made him a beaver and not a chinchilla, but I think maybe they didn't have the visual effects to have him constantly go bald every time he's nervous. That is a beaver with IBS.
I love Bud.
I love him so much. He might be one of the more well-developed side characters of the show.
Agreed. He's perfect. There's no development needed. My note on Bud is no notes. Love him. Like that's it.
Nervous little guy who just wants to take care of everyone, but make sure he doesn't get in trouble with the wife.
Oh my God, he's the
taking
sweetest.
care of pregnant Adeline. Sorry, my wife's going to be home in a few days.
That's right. Yes. Oh, but yeah, definitely could have used a lot more bud, but that's all right. The amount we got was good.
Yeah.
But like in kind of going a little bit back to like the silliness of it, and I didn't write them all down, but definitely a lot of moments where I just busted out laughing, like out loud laughing, hysterically laughing. Cause I was like, what the fuck? One of them, it was in the later seasons. It was like with the tree Vesin thing or whatever. And it all wraps up and everything. And Nick's just like, I guess we've done all we can. And the whole gang is there and they're just like, yep. And then, and then they leave.
Well, what are they going to do? It's a tree. And frankly, that was one of the episodes where I felt no pity for any of the people who died. Like, none. Yeah. These are the worst people in this gorgeous Pacific Northwest forest. You're just going to come and dump toxic sludge. Let you be eaten by a tree. Go fuck yourselves, man.
Exactly. When trees attack.
Yeah. If you look really closely, you can actually see Edward Cullen being a spider monkey with Bella in the trees. Even though Portland is nowhere near Forks, Washington. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Nothing.
Same region.
It's close enough. It's Grimm. It's fine. They'll make it work somehow.
Everything is fine.
But yes, a little bit back to Monroe and Rosalie. I just have like, again, no notes. Love them. But I did feel like Nick could have been a better friend to Monroe, especially early in the seasons. He gets better later, but it's still very much just like Monroe and Rosalie. They're like having a date night or getting ready to smooch. And then Nick calls and he's just like, hey, are you busy? Yes. Okay. So this is what's going on.
Yeah. There's so much of just like, hey, I know that you don't have any other thing going on in your life, so you obviously want to come and like do really dangerous shit with me. This man was just fixing clocks and living his best vegan blue button life.
Oh, I love Monroe so much. Him and his sweaters.
Pissing on his house. Like, I love their friendship between Nick and Monroe. I genuinely do. I think they're wonderful friends to each other, but Nick didn't risk nearly as much in his friendship with Monroe as Monroe did, not even just like with violence of going out and like searching for stuff, but just being friends with a Grimm, being friends with someone that your entire existence is in opposition of. Or whose entire existence is in opposition of you. Like, Grimm's killed his whole fucking family. And I love that he is just like, this guy seems nice, though. This guy has no idea. I think he was like, this is a baby Grimm, and I can mold this Grimm to be what I want him to be.
Oh, I like that.
I'm glad Monroe was the first, like, Vesin he really met, though. Because I feel like he'd be dead immediately if it was anybody else.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they like Monroe's birthday is probably one of my favorite episodes.
Oh my God. That is such a fun, silly filler episode. It's just so fucking wacky and I love it so much. It's just so silly.
And it shows babies don't have to ruin TV shows when they enter.
See? Oh my God. Yeah, that one was fun. It very much kind of like with everyone. I don't know. It was just a lot of fun and just kind of silly, low stakes. And it's just what was it? The Amor de Inferno or something.
Something like that. Hank falling in love with himself in the mirror.
Oh my God. And then everything going down in the hallway and they snap out of it. And he's like, why am I in my underwear?
Or Monroe and Rosalie having babies and he's freaking out thinking he's delivering like 8 babies for Rosalie. Now there's so much. There's so much ridiculousness. There's so much fun stuff. There's so much like there is like more serious stuff to talk about. Like Renard, I loved to hate to love that man because he's he starts bad-ish. He's really gray for like 90% of the show. He's
gray. Super
self-serving, but most of the time his wants and desires align with Nick and Hank with the job of being police. And Bernard just really likes the idea of having a Grimm kind of in his pocket in a lot of ways. But then he just goes batshit and he is like, you know what? I'm going to run for mayor. I'm going to be like, sure, these people killed my buddy that I think he genuinely liked this guy who got killed. But he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll work with him. Mayor sounds good. And you know what? Why don't I kidnap Adeline and her son from my coworkers or subordinate / Grimm friend?
God. See, and I like Renard, especially when he doesn't wear his shirt. I do remember calling him Captain Chest.
Yes. Yes. And there was a time he took that shirt off all the time when he was bleeding and being Jack the Ripper and stuff like that. The Vesson Jack the Ripper.
That is some Looney Tunes goofy shit. I was like, fucking really? So dumb. And then it just neatly ties up because there just happened to be the one guy who's British that fits whatever.
He was one of the royals.
Yes, I know. He's like their cousin or something. But Renard, he just kind of flip-flops a little bit. Like, yeah, one minute you think he's like anti-Grimm, and then he's like Team Grimm, and then he's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I'm just going to join BlackRock.
It's whatever's going to benefit him at the time. This man has no forethought.
No.
There's like no plan in his life. He's just power hungry, and I think that's kind of where he got into the whole Black Claw thing. But like, it's so ridiculous. I don't care. I love it so much. And it's like, he has this baby, and like Diana, like, she gets kidnapped and taken up. You know what? I get them being pissed off. Adeline and Renard being pissed off. Adeline is the most fertile woman I think I've ever seen in my life.
Right?
She gets pregnant for almost the whole show.
Yes. And that is kind of annoying, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, he finally is able to find her and get her back after killing Kelly and all that other fun stuff. And she just casually kills his girlfriend. His daughter just casually kills people with her mind. And oh my God, the scene where the guy who he promised the promotion to, and he said no, and he kidnaps Diana.
Yes, I loved that part so much.
All over the place.
Of course it is. What? We're gonna speak literal, like in a. Doesn't matter.
That's the same episode as the love potion one, though, because
that's right. It is yes,
because Diana's at his house, and he just finds out she gets kidnapped, and he's just like, meh. And he goes and he like hangs out for the day, and then he gets these calls from the guy kidnapping her, begging him to come and save him. And he still fucks around for a few more hours after that.
I did love that a lot. And yes, it is with the Monroe's birthday episode. Because it's like, I don't know. That was maybe like my favorite Renard moment. Because at first he's like, oh no, my daughter's been kidnapped. And he's like, wait a minute. She's more powerful than me and her mother combined. She'll be fine. And then just eats cookies and hangs out all day and everything, and it's just so nonchalant. And it was so funny, and I loved it so fucking much. And I just thought it was a really fun, nice way to kind of tie up that loose end with that one-off police officer character and dealing with the whole thing of like Nick pretending to be Renard and calling off the mayorship and everything. And
that was fun too, though.
That was fun.
I liked that. And then she got pissed at, you're not my dad. She just zaps him out of it.
And it's like with Diana, they know she's so powerful, right? They know, and she seems to, I just felt like they didn't utilize her enough. They didn't ask her enough questions. Like, well, what do you know? What do you see? What can you tell us? You know, they don't have to like, she's a child, so they don't have to like push her or anything, but just fucking ask her a question or two. That girl knew a lot. She's like, Eve's in the walls, and this is happening.
I can read this whole thing.
And it's like when she showed back up, I was like, how old is she supposed to be? Because how much time has past. She's like 12. I don't know if she was supposed to be that old, but
no, I think she was like 5 or 6 when she's like toddler when Kelly gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in end of season 3. And then like season 5 comes along and she's like 6 or something like that. I think they kind of play like she ages differently because of all her magic stuff.
And that's what I assumed. So,
but I did love seeing that she wasn't full blown insane in the series by the series finale. Although I thought it was funny she called Nick dad when she was talking to Kelly, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's a weird throuple situation with Renard. Mom and dad.
They're all on the same team now, you know? Like Renard he's come back around after the whole Black Claw thing and trying to kill Nick.
I think he's probably dead.
One last time. Like Renard just, I don't know. Sometimes I just felt like, dude, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And it just kind of seemed like, yes, he just was going with the flow, like you said, to just whatever best benefited him. And I don't know, man. Pick a struggle. Just all over the board. I mean, take your shirt off.
Speaking of struggle, Trouble.
I love Trouble.
I love her so much. And I love how you're like, all these undeveloped side characters. Bud, no notes. Love him. Perfect. Trouble. No notes. Love her. Perfect. Everyone. Perfect. Woo. Perfect. I loved Woo, though.
I loved Woo and I loved Hank, but those were the two I'm mostly thinking about since they were more main sides, but of not being fully developed.
Pika werewolf Woo? What do you mean? I was so mad how long they kept Woo in the dark. This poor man was losing his goddamn mind.
I completely
We didn't even talk
agree.
about Trouble, son of a bitch. We got right back to Woo.
But I do remember when we were watching it live, I was very like, when are they going to tell Woo? And I do remember when Woo found out. But it did take a lot longer than I originally thought.
I thought
it happened
season 3 or something when they told him about it. It was stupid long.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like, how are you going to and he was seeing things and he thought he was losing his mind. And like, it really actually irritated me so much because you didn't give him a chance to make a choice about whether he wants to know it. He knows about it. And you told Hank right away when Hank was losing his mind, thinking that he was going crazy, seeing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm surprised Woo wasn't mad at them for longer because I'd have been pissed. I'm like, you're not telling me of all this really dangerous shit that I'm going to encounter because I am with you.
Mm-hmm. He committed himself for fuck's sakes because he thought he was like fucking losing. And they visit him and they're just like, you're looking great, buddy.
They still don't tell him, by the way, you're not crazy. This shit is real.
Nick is the worst. I'm sorry. He's hot, but he's kind of a shit person. He's oddly a pretty good detective. I thought the detective parts were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he is really hot, though, so we can forgive him for a lot of stuff. This is 100%. The thing. Here's the thing. I forgive all of them for everything because they're all really hot.
Agreed. Yeah,
and that's kind of the long and short of it.
And I think that's why I could never like hate this show because everyone's just too damn sexy.
They're too hot being pretty together. Like, and there's this one thing, I think it's in season 3 or whatever. I can't remember. I watched the scene a normal amount of times. When it first happened and he like gets into a fight and like I can't remember the episode even because I've like tried to find it again because I'm again a normal person. I like watching hot dudes fight. I don't know what to tell you. I like to watch, but he is like in a place where there's all these big steel drums and stuff like that, and there's like these 3 guys he's fighting, and it's just like he kicks their ass so beautifully, and it's just hot to watch. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just a girl.
Just a girl sitting in front of you telling you that it's hot.
It's hot. If you want to watch hot people do ridiculous things, this is the show for you. And also
kind of is. Yeah.
There's some monster stuff in it, which is fun too. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, when Nick was fighting all the Black Claw in his apartment, when everyone's hiding in the tunnels and he like
also
kills them
very
all,
hot.
Extremely hot. That was a really, in addition to the hotness, that was a really good scene. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Aside from the hotness, but. because
and that's the thing is like the fighting that I was talking about, I think it's in season 3. I wish I could remember it. I wish I'd written it down. It is hot, but it's actually just, I just thought it was a really well choreographed and really well done like fight scene, because it's hard to make those look believable and good in a lot of ways. And it was like he had just finally gotten more into the groove of his grimminess.
Yes.
And it was just like, so maybe it was season 2 because he didn't have his Grimm taken away yet. I can't remember. I'll find it and I'll send you the video, Jen.
Okie dokie.
And then we can just watch it and be like, yeah, that was good.
I gotta go now. I'll be in my bunk. So Trouble. All right. Awesome. No notes other than we could have used more of her, but I did love it when she would just kind of pop in all sneaky and random like, and everyone's like, Trouble. And I just love her and Nick's relationship, kind of like a very sibling-esque relationship, especially when he's like first kind of trying to train her to be a Grimm. And I'm like, dude, you are not.
This is the blind leading the blind.
I was like, this is like the last. It's like when the last person that was hired has to train the next new employee. Like, that's just fucking wrong and dumb, and things shouldn't operate that way. But that's what that reminded me of.
Well, and
I worked for the state, so that's how they did things.
Yeah, she surpassed him
so fast.
But I think part of that too is because he's like got this other job where he feels like he's trying to juggle two oftentimes opposing goals in a lot of ways. Trouble does not have that issue. She does not have that compunction. He infused her, I guess, mostly with a moral code of don't just see a monster, kill a monster. And it's a lot like kind of what Supernatural wind up doing with Dean, as with like Dean grew up thinking monsters bad, you just kill the monsters. You don't really try and see them as anything other than a monster, and there's no more nuance to it than that. And eventually he kind of accepts that, and it's fairly early on in Supernatural that he starts to question and accept it. But Trouble, I think, would have continued down the path of just see a monster, kill the monster, and don't really put much thought into it. And we see a lot of that when she's working for the Resistance, and she just takes orders and she just goes and she just does it, and she doesn't really question the orders. She just takes them. But Nick, I think what he really did for her was give the Vesin a humanity that I don't think other Grimms ever gave it. And that maybe made him a worse quote unquote Grimm, but it made him a better person, and it made him actually a better policing force to the Vesin, rather than just being a killing machine that they scare their children with. So, but yeah, he's not the best Grimm. I actually can't believe Trouble is only in 31 episodes. Like, she felt like so much more of a presence in the show. But I love her so much. She has 31 episodes. I couldn't believe it. Like, okay. She's not, I think she comes in at the end of season 2. I don't know. Let's look. I have it right here. Her first episode is
season 3?
Season 3, end of season 3. Wow.
Okay.
She's on Dr. Odyssey now.
See, and I thought she came in much earlier. So when it took all the way to season 3 before she showed up, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Aunt Marie is in season 1 for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, she's just dying. Just dying like crazy. And also, why would you not tell people? Like, if you know this is a thing that's going to be happening to your nephew, why are you not saying anything? Why are you just letting him all of a sudden? I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I can't grasp it. But
yeah, Aunt Marie. So her and Nick's mom, because Nick's mom, like, well, he thought she died, but she just took off doing Grimm shit. But yeah, Aunt Marie shows up with the fucking trailer that she keeps telling him, don't let anyone know about the trailer. So first he just keeps it in a fucking open air storage parking lot. And
that man told everyone about his trailer.
Dude, Hank made it there by episode like 3 of season 1. I fucking swear to God. I did write that down. Give me a second.
and it's like this shock when Julia goes bad that she burns to the ground. Like, why didn't you move it? as soon as you realized you couldn't trust Juliet anymore, this is before she killed his mom and all that other stuff. As soon as you realize that she's gone, move the most important and precious items in your possession and your heritage and your lineage and your move it. It's like, move it to a different part of the woods.
Exactly. He bought like that chunk of land. I don't know. It was season 1, episode 8. Monroe goes to the trailer. He sends Monroe to the trailer.
A blue button.
To stop the ogre.
You've known him for 8 episodes. You're supposed to just kill the guy, and you're like, you know what? Let me send you to the Grimm secret bunker.
And you can look at all the tools that killed your family and your ancestors.
Dude, he had a cookout there at least once, you know. Just had a block party with the trailer.
Oh, no shit.
And I couldn't believe he didn't. I would have killed Wu for eating French fries and touching all of that old shit when he finally found out. And he's like, good for Wu for doing all the research. We love a researching diva. But eating the French fries and drinking and the condensed, I would be so pissed. I'm like, what are you doing?
Get it out of here. I'd be like, no food in the trailer.
I was so much like Monroe's uncle yelling at them to wear gloves.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like,
it's
ancient shit.
It's like 600-700-year-old books. It's just paper.
I also love that like Monroe and Rosalie know everything about Wesen and Wesen lore and all the different types of Wesens. And
Rosalie has a direct line to the council.
Yes, because of course. And
she had such a weird, mysterious past too. I wish we'd gotten a little bit more. She was just like, I was just bad and I ran with bad people. And that was what we got. And then that dude came to try and shake her down or something.
Tommy or I don't know, some shit
Tommy
like that.
came, Adeline breaks his fingers and she goes, he's from my past. And then that's it.
Pretty much. Well, it's like she was addicted to something, some sort of Wesen drug. Because I think that's how we're kind of introduced to her because of her brother. That was his shop and he died and yada yada. Yeah. So yeah.
And then she's like the most wholesome.
She's the sweetest fucking person. And she's like, I had a sordid past and I did bad things. Like, did you though?
I know. Like, it's so hard to believe it because she's just so wonderful. Like there's maybe an ounce of darkness to her. Like if she feels like her family is threatened or something like that, then you really see kind of that mess, that fierceness come out in her. But like she gets kidnapped by a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Like literally it's kidnapped by kids. And then it's like, well, I'll hang out here for a little bit. And then she runs off and
then they hate her and yeah.
Then they hate her. And again, no follow-up to any of that. We just know that Black Claw has a school, an orphanage that they sent him to, and that's kind of
yeah.
I could have had another season of this show. I would have. They're making. Oh my god!
I was gonna say
they're bringing Grimm back. I don't know if it's going to be a movie or a season.
I heard about that. I thought I wasn't. Yeah, I don't think they've said for sure if it's movie. I think one thing I saw was movie, but I know there's been talks about like rebooting it for a while. Which, you know, I'm totally fine with. But let's start clean slate, like a whole new Grimm. Whole new kind of everybody. If some of the old characters want to have random cameos, that's fine. But I say we kind of start fresh and just continue to build on this world of Grimms and Wesens.
I wouldn't be against like the multi-generational kind of situation though, like maybe following Kelly or something like that. Or even having them on the periphery or something like that. Because if I want to see what they're up to.
Yeah. Where are they now? Grimm edition.
Where are they now? Except the epilogue at the end of the series, we haven't gotten to that point yet in real time because it was 20 years later.
Yeah.
And the show ended in 2018, I want to say, or 17.
I think that's right. I think 17.
I think it's 2017. So we're almost there. By the time these streaming people release it, it'll be 20 years in the future because these assholes, we're not even almost there. We're almost 10 years out, but I don't care. I don't care. I want to see Monroe and Rosalie and their triplets.
I want to see their triplets.
I want to see the triplets. I want to see Kelly. I do. I want to see them all. I would love to see if it was like Trouble kind of and her shit. I mean, it doesn't make sense for her to stay in Portland. So maybe seeing that, and then you can have a female lead.
Yeah.
For it, which would be interesting. Now I gotta find.
I just want them to start off with a Grimm that already knows that they're a Grimm. We don't need to go through everything. We don't need to follow Nick's journey again.
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, I'm not opposed to it. And show or movie, I will watch it.
Because we will watch.
Because we are messy.
As long as they're as hot as they were in... I Googled Grimm, and it's just sad news.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. I've searched it so many times. It's like, this again?
It's an obituary. Clearly I have to clarify TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So a reboot movie is in the works, which that'll be fun. I'm excited about it. I'll watch it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, oh yeah. See, they did a year after Grimm ended. They tried to do a spinoff with a female Grimm, but it didn't get picked up.
Oh,
I feel like you can't do a spinoff after the show ends. I don't know.
No, you not. Nah. I feel like it's a little trickier.
Unless it's SVU.
Right.
Or some other Law and Order bullshit, or an NCIS or something. Those shows never end, though.
Ever. And that's okay.
So it's believed to have ties to the series for diehard fans, but could also be easily accessed by new viewers not familiar with the original mythology, as it introduces new mythology and characters.
Okay.
If it succeeds, it could launch a franchise.
And I know that they started coming out with like comics and other like written works. I think even while the show was still airing, like halfway through, I think. So maybe pull from some of that. I don't know. I think that's all Nick centered though. That's fine.
Everything is Nick centered.
It's always about Nick.
It's all about Nick. How dare you be the main character of a television show?
How dare you be like the worst main character of a television show?
No, that's Ted Mosby.
Fair, but I never really got into that show, so.
Well, you're lucky. Ted Mosby is the worst main character. But yeah, I don't know. I love this show. I love Nick and Adeline. We talked about that. I love how it felt like a natural kind of progression for them too, like in the weirdest way. Like I said, I love enemies to lovers. I don't think we see a lot of actual like real enemies to lovers in stuff, because it's really hard to be like, these two people really are damaging each other and they really hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you gonna make, no, they're toxic as shit. Like, I'm not pretending that Nick and Adeline are yay, look at this flowery, lovely couple. They
but
literally
love that shit.
I do love that shit. She literally tries to bite his tongue off.
Mm-hmm.
And then she loses her hexabees. Then she disguises herself as his girlfriend and gets knocked up by Nick to take away his Grimm powers. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a whole... I love the thing when they go to Germany and Nick is like, yeah, I slept with Adeline.
It's just so nonchalant.
And Monroe's like, whoa, so wait a minute. First you slept with Adeline when she looked like Juliet. Then you slept with Juliet when she looked like Adeline. And now you finally slept with Adeline knowing that it was Adeline. And I'm like, yes! Give me that toxic shit in my vein.
See, and I feel like, especially after the whole like Juliet looking like Adeline and they have sex so he can get his Grimm powers back, even if at that point he started having like conflicting feelings of like, oh, I don't know about Juliet anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, why can't I stop thinking about Adeline? Is it because I hate her so much? That's got to be it. Then that's fine. kind of disagree. I don't feel like their progression was as smooth as I would have liked. Everything just kind of felt like, here, you guys are going to have a baby now, and you're going to move into this loft, and she can't sleep, and so you're just going to sleep in the same bed, but like on top of the sheets until
there's
it's
only
under
one
the sheets.
bed. It's all of the stuff that I like, and I don't care.
I know.
Is it disjointed? I don't care. I kind of loved the fact, though, that when Juliet looked like Adeline, it didn't cause any like confliction, like emotional confliction for him, because at that point he still hated Adeline. Like, and it wasn't like, this is like somewhat like Juliet tried to be like, oh, look at this as a way like you're sleeping with another woman, and he's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't very fun. But between like Adeline suppressing her Hex and Beast stuff and having the baby, and like having a baby bonds you with somebody, it just does, even if you don't necessarily want it to. He did come to accept that as his baby real fast. She goes, look, I'm pregnant, touch my belly, and he's like, fuck, now I got another thing to try and protect. Just add it to the list.
Yep.
And he takes her to Budge.
Oh.
I love it. I don't care. I love it all. I love it so much. I love when she's like, I know this isn't how we wanted to like get together.
I know you do. And I don't not love it, and I like don't hate it or anything. I just feel like things could have gone a little, I don't know, a little bit more like groundwork prior to, at least for me. I don't know, but
yeah, I still enjoy it. I think knowing how much time they would have, they'd be able to do that. But I think there was a lot of that, like, I don't know, like they don't say I love you till the end of season 6. They do sleep together, but that's like end of season 5. There is like, I did like the awkward, like, we're living together and raising a child together, but things are not normal. Aspect of it. And I love that he's just like, he has this beautiful house, and he's like, here, we're gonna go move to this fortress, and like, you could make it a little homey.
Right? This fortress that still everyone knows where it's at.
Everybody knows.
God.
I don't want anyone to know we're here, but first off, we're gonna invite our friends over for a housewarming party,
and we're gonna show everyone this secret tunnel.
The secret tunnel to get out. Like, trouble found him with no trouble. And then, like, yeah, all of Black Claw is just there, and there's like 850 million of them storming his house. I don't care. God. I don't care. Does this show make sense? No. And that's fine. No. And yeah, if you're looking for a show to give you deep meaning, this is not the show for you. No. If you're looking for a show to give like deep critical thought and stuff too, this is not it. This is a show purely to enjoy the ride. Like, you can laugh with it, you can laugh at it. It's kind of all of those things. My husband, it's so funny because like, he wasn't watching it with me, but he would kind of pop in randomly, and I'd be like further in the season or on to the next season, and I give him these recaps, and he's like, what the fuck? And the best part is like when they do it in the show, because they did that a few times when everyone's kind of there, and it's like, I remember, God, I didn't write it specifically down, but it's like Monroe and Rosalie, and they're like catching like Hank up or something, and this and this and this and this, and it just sounds like the most ridiculous shit you've ever fucking heard. Like, soap like opera times 20. Yes. In the showtime, not in our watching time. He goes like, I was in a coma for a little while. What happened? And they're like, well, let me tell you. Here's what you missed. Let me tell you about the Rat King. The Rat King. I loved that so much. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was great. I loved it. And I love the whole myth of like the cat Vesson. I can't remember the actual name of the cat people Vesson, going to the junkyard to beat up the rats. Like, I don't know why. It just felt so like, yeah. They're just kind of silly. Little cats being bitches. I mean,
It works.
Yeah.
I also liked that, especially, because early on they did more stuff kind of related to fairy tales and mythology or stuff like that. And I loved it. And in season 1, they did oh my God, La Llorona. I always have to stop and think about it because I know how it's pronounced, but my mouth is like, we're going to pronounce all the L's. No, we don't do that. But they had almost like in every season, at least one episode that was because they had like a chupacabra episode, and then they had like the Mexican wrestlers and the mask and everything, the luchadors.
Luchador.
And I love that. I love that they included some of that as well.
Yeah, that it wasn't just like Eurocentric or American centric kind of legends and stuff like that. I actually think with the pilot, I thought the pilot was fantastic. I remember like the Little Red Riding Hood, like as a pilot, I thought it was really good. The idea of Little Red Riding Hood and how that would kind of tie into the Blue Button and the Big Bad Wolf and stuff like that. And it's a good way to introduce Monroe and to kind of introduce, and I think that's why they have to have Nick be new at being a Grimm, because we are new to it. So we're watching it from his perspective. So we're learning kind of as he's learning along with it. Which is why I don't think they necessarily need to do it for the movie, but they probably will if they're trying to make it so people don't have to see the show to like the movie.
Yeah.
But like the Goldilocks episode where those people are just assholes partying in the bear's house. Like, yeah, I like seeing the other cultures kind of.
Yeah, because they did one with because Wu's Filipino.
Yeah, I believe so.
So they did one with I don't remember what the ghost monster thing was, but so that was kind of cool. Yeah, not just European.
You mean the Japanese?
Was it Japanese?
The Japanese like ghost dog?
No.
Where the kids accidentally shot their friend, and I mean this is another one too.
Correct, but not that one. No.
Okay.
It's the one where it's like Wu like knows the couple and like she's pregnant and like the monster comes and like eats the baby. Oh, I guess there's baby eating.
Oh, yeah, but he can see the future. Like he's got the weird arm, Oh,
no, not that one, but that one was really good too. And when we were talking about follow-up episodes, I loved how that one ended too, because kind of Nick and Hank realizing like that dude might have been correct. But no, the Wu one it's like a couple friend of his, and she's pregnant, and she wakes up to like the monster, the Wesen or whatever, like sucking the amniotic fluid out of her belly.
Oh yeah.
And then that's what sends Wu to commit himself.
Yeah.
Because he saw that.
Yeah. Because it's messed up.
Yeah. But I think that was I think that was like Filipino based. And with when it comes to like, Wesens, ghosts, monsters, etc., there's a lot of similar stories throughout a lot of different cultures. So it's like, yeah, maybe it was called this in Filipino lore, but maybe Italian lore has it called this, and some small differences. So yeah, either way, yeah, very cool. I like that.
Yeah, I did like how they did a lot of tie-ins to actual urban legends and stuff like that. Same kind of thing I like with Supernatural too. But I'm trying to remember other stuff. My brain just went.
Hey, my brain does that too.
It's like, who are we talking about anymore? We talked about how hot they were. Oh my gosh, the Christmas episode is one of my favorites too, with the little kids who turn into like gremlins.
Yes, the Krampus. No, that was a different one too.
That's a different one.
Yes, but
this is just like little kids, and the only thing that can calm them down is fruitcake.
Fruitcake, yes, that's what it was. Oh my god, that was so silly.
All this little mischief. Or one of the ones that I thought was really great was the like it's one of the later episodes, and Monroe goes to talk to them, and it's like the guy who runs like the camp weekend for young Wesen and their dads.
Yep. It's like a boys,
it's
like coming of Wesen age kind of thing, a rite of passage type.
Yeah, and like just to be like, and they go on the hunt, and it's all these like little pimply faced tween boys trying to catch a rabbit, and their dads too, because none of them are in touch with their Wesen heritage. Really, they're all just trying to adapt to the what the hell is the quote unquote normal people society, I guess. And then he is like, I'm gonna have, and Monroe's like, did some shit. So he's like, I'm gonna have Monroe come talk to these kids. And Monroe's like, the fuck am I supposed to say? He's like, I'm vegan. I used to have people.
That one was fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some really fun episodes, some silly ones, some pretty dark episodes as well. So it is kind of cool that the show is a little all over the board in that way. Keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, the whole we talked about it, like after Monroe and Rosalie get married, God, what the hell is the name of them though? The Wesenrhein. That's it. The Wesenrhein were the KKK.
Oh, yeah.
Episodes, like burning that symbol in their yard and kidnapping Monroe and putting him on trial. That was really dark, and like that was one of the ones where I'm like, wasn't sure if Monroe was gonna make it. And just his speech when he's trying to defend himself, because he's being put on trial because he's a blue button who got married to a Fuchsbau, and he's also friends with the Grimm. And these are like Wesen purists and all that other stuff. And I thought those two, so it's season 4, episode 9 and 10, that 2-parter. Those are two of my favorite episodes. I think it shows how fierce Rosalie is and how fucking fed up she is with Nick and Juliet's little shit, because Nick's not a Grimm, because Juliet's hesitating about it. And she's just like, what the fuck are you going to do? So you're not even a Grimm anymore. And my husband is possibly going to die for being friends with you. And you're not even, and what are you doing about this? Pretty much. But no, I think I love this show. I could talk about it a lot, but I feel very like all over the place talking about it. I feel very manic right now.
Well, that's kind of the vibe of the podcast.
True. It's just been so long.
I know.
It's been so long.
I know. I'm just scrolling up and down, like my little tablet here with all my notes, because I'm like, okay, now we're down here. Oh, now we're back up here. Where are my character notes?
Bring something about your notes so we can have some semblance of of order here.
Yeah, okay.
For 5 minutes before I go off onto a tangent.
Well, and I am just kind of looking through my notes. I would have to say that, like, season 1 was kind of a little rough to get through. Season 2 is definitely improvement. I think 3 and 4 are 2 very strong seasons.
For sure.
Season 3, they introduce the Wesen Council, and Monroe and Rosalie get married, and then Nick loses his Grimm powers at the end. We get Trouble, and then season 4, the anti Wesenism relationship, the tribunal and everything. But that season 4 also has the whole like Renard reliving getting shot, and then the whole Jack the Ripper thing, which
is fantastic. I don't care. It's the worst, but I love it. I don't care. It's one of those things like I don't care. I love it.
I was kind of thinking, especially when we get to the last season, and Juliet, and she's got like the death grip, she gets like the death grip of the one dead guy or whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay. Are they kind of calling back to the whole, like a spirit can attach to somebody and like come through? And then that didn't really go anywhere. So I was like, okay, I guess not. She was very troubled by the dude's face, and then whatever. I was like,
I mean, it was a troubling face.
It was.
To be clear.
Face tattoos. knows? I mean, no.
I mean, he's not going to get a job anywhere. No one's going to hire him.
Also, he's dead.
I mean, fine. You're going to be all crazy.
But I do also really like season 5 and 6. I like the, because we get Meisner in season 5. The whole Black Claw thing is what it is, but...
Well, we got Meisner before season 5.
Right, I know. He comes back, though.
Yeah. And with all his hotness and no backstory.
Yeah.
We have no idea. This man is not Grimm. He's not Fessin. We have no idea. Like, he's a government, I guess. But, like, season 5 gives us... Yeah, season 5 gives us Skin Deep, which is one of my favorites. It's the bug guy who's stealing all the youth and selling it for the face cream.
Oh my God, yes.
And that doctor who's just like, how old do you think I am in his face?
My God, that was fucked up.
It was so good though. Like
agreed.
It was so ridiculous because this doctor was so ridiculous, but horrifying because he, like, you watch him go completely insane so quickly because he just can't stop putting this shit on his face. And right after that we have like the Believer one where the guy's like the tent revival preacher.
Yep.
And like that was heartbreaking because his ex-wife thinks he's actually possessed by the devil, and she kills him, and he lets her believe that she saved him, like saved his soul. And I'm like, that makes me sad. Also, religion is dumb.
No, I agree. I liked that episode too. I mean, it's not like I watched this and I was like, I hate this episode. I hate this episode.
Yes, you did. You were like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen, Megan.
God,
how
this
dare
is so
you?
Dumb. Next episode.
We're going to talk about Gallivant.
Look, and that was only because I was like, I have like 2.5 more seasons to get through. There's no fucking way. But I fucking love Gallivant, so.
I do too. I watched the whole thing and I'm like, God, this is a fun show. And then you're like, we had to push this out, and you're like, I can watch Grimm now. And I'm like, great, I haven't watched it in 3 weeks, in like a month and a half. And now
you're welcome.
Now I'm solidly back into my Critical Role bullshit. And though that's 500 plus hours of content, that is just like, it is 141 episodes of three or more hours long.
My God.
And I'm like, I love it so much. I'm such a nerd.
You are.
I'm not like other girls. I'm a nerd. I like nerdy stuff like D&D and supernatural TV shows.
Oh my God, you're such like not a girl. Oh,
I'm so unique.
All right. Well, let's see. We're at a good time, I think, to start hitting up Stray Bubbles. I'm sure you have 1,000 more things to say, but anything pressing that you're just like, fuck, I didn't mention this.
No, not really. Just again, I don't care. They're toxic. I love Nick and Adeline, and I will fight you. Not really, because it's a TV show, and I don't care like that much about it. But it is one of my favorite enemies to lovers. So I guess if that's something that you want to watch, and it's one of my favorites just because, again, they really, really hate each other in the beginning.
They really did. Like
it's not rivals. It's not competition. They genuinely want to kill each other in the beginning of this show. And then by the end, they're doing everything they can to get back to each other. And they're still together 20 years later.
Aww.
They never had another kid, though.
Hey, that's all right. I mean,
or maybe they did just some random kid that they're like, you know what? We're not going to bring this one into the family.
No shit. That one's just like, y'all are fucking weird and messy.
That's what the movie's about. It's their outcast child.
Yes, getting called in because like the rest of his Grimm family. So like, yes, the black sheep of the Grimm family, of Nick's family.
Oh wait, no, that's supernatural. He goes off to college to get away from his Grimm. Son of a bitch!
Damn it!
Dad's on a hunting trip.
Don't worry, Grimm writers. We'll get this all sorted for you.
We'll get it taken care of. Don't you worry about it.
We got this.
I'm going to go scroll through some fanfic from 15 years ago. Not quite 10 years ago.
All right. I don't have any stray bubbles. I'm sure I will.
I think we really talked about a lot of like stuff all over the place.
Yeah, kind of. I'm sad.
I'm sad we didn't get to talk about Hank and Wu a bit more. I loved them.
Yeah, we can talk about like Hank and Wu a bit more, but I love them. I thought Hank was a great partner. I thought he was a really good detective. Wu
Terrible
is just
husband.
So sassy. And I feel like I wish they both would have gotten a little bit more.
Yeah, I wish they had gotten more too. I did love Wu being always the one making like the stereotypical cop show, like put on his sunglasses, CSI Miami, like one-liners for stuff. I thought that was really fun and cute. I did want to say the 2-part finale of this show was really, really good. They really had me thinking that everyone was going to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Wu and Hank were killed and the stick didn't heal, like the magic healing stick didn't do anything. Like, and this is probably the best Nick has been in the series. I liked him throughout the whole series, but like he's like sobbing over their bodies and he's never not been able to save them and take care of them. And then just to watch one by one every single person he cares about going out, and the fight that he and Trouble had when he's trying to give the stick to the guy. Like, I thought that was so good. And I thought it was such a strong ending to the series. You're froze.
Oh no.
I'm going to print screen the face that you're frozen at.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But you can hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I just can't see you. I'm going to see if I can put this picture in the chat if it was there. Nope. Damn it. I screenshot the wrong page. No, damn. Now you're not frozen anymore. But no, I thought it was such a strong ending to the series. I see you faking it. I know you're a liar. And this was your face.
I mean, yes, I make that face, so that tracks. All right, wait. No. I can probably find the time I'm going to get the timestamp, 1:30-ish. Because when I download the Zoom stuff, I'll get a video, so I'll see if I can see it. I agree. I loved the finale. Totally had me as well. What was I going to say about it? I don't remember.
It was a dream the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole series. No, that pissed me off. Some Bob Newhart bullshit. How fucking dare you?
Beautiful. What did you think about Ghost Mom and Ghost Aunt Marie coming back and lending a hand in the final fight?
I liked the idea that it gave him a chance to. It gave us a chance to kind of reconnect to the roots and to his familial line and stuff like that, and to kind of remind him that he's not who he is because he's by himself. Mm-hmm. It's because of, and I love the fact that they were all women. I loved the fact that he was the only guy in this, and he has all of these very strong female characters within the show. Like all of the women in the show, I think are great. I think they're good characters. I think they have good, strong characterizations and stuff. I think the men do kind of fall by the wayside, which I'm fine.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Men, we get enough. No, I did like it though. I also liked that Trouble was like, "What are you talking about?" It was just you and me. So it was a nice way to close out for people who watched the show too, to get Maria and Kelly back in there. And her being like, "I like my grandson's name." And I'm like,
It's like, look, Aunt Marie has hair.
She has hair.
Aunt Cancer has hair. Oh, that's mean. Oh, I can make cancer jokes. Like all my family's dead from it. So,
yeah, they won't get mad at you.
What are they gonna do? Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's go ahead
On that note.
Let's get to that Midwest goodbye.
the
beginning
note.
of it. I mean, the Midwest goodbye is the beginning of the end. So, I mean, it's kind of the
time to slap
goodbye.
our knees, say our whelps.
Stand at the door for another 40 minutes. So,
yep. Then get to the car.
And then get to the car. And
window down.
I forgot my to-go plate, so I got to go back and, yep.
It's time to grab the goodbye beer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, forgot my beer. Got to go back. Oh, forgot a lawn chair.
To drink while we make our goodbyes.
Oh, forgot a kid. Got to go back and get them. All right, we're going to start with the 6 Degrees of Nicolas Cage, and that's where we will connect this show to Nicolas Cage in 6 steps or less. Why? Why the fuck not? Meg, how'd you do?
I did fine. I have Silas Weir-Mitchell, who is Monroe, who, again, is probably the most talented actor on the show. I'm just going to throw that out there. I've seen him in lots of stuff, and I like him in all of it. He was in Rat Race with Cuba Gooding Jr., who is in A Few Good Men with Kevin Bacon. Look how quick that was. Bam. Done.
Kevin Bacon, huh?
Oh, it's Nicolas Cage, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know why my brain just forgot. Because it's not like Nicolas Cage is your personality.
Right? I only like him a little bit.
Fine.
Okay.
We'll do it again because I have stupid website up.
Let's go.
Silas Weir-Mitchell in Heaven's Rain with Megan Paul, who is in Face Off with Nicolas Cage. I want to take his face. We should do a one of those streaming bubble about Face Off because that movie is so fucking insane and stupid and ridiculous. Movie. I love it so much.
It's so fucking good. I don't give a shit. It's so terrible. It's so good.
I could eat a peach for hours. The premise is so stupid. Everything is so dumb. I don't care.
The surgery just takes like minutes and no swelling, no healing time,
no
just
issues,
right to
no
murdering.
scars, nothing.
It's fine.
Who cares about bone structure?
Not that movie.
Your face on another person's head will not look like your face. Maybe a little, but not really.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. It's about time to rewatch it. It's been a minute.
I want to take his face off.
All right. Well, I did not do one for Kevin Bacon, but I did.
Well,
you should. 2. No,
you should. It'd be so fun.
I have 2 for Nicolas Cage because I'm totally normal. So first up, I have Reggie Lee, who played Wu, who was in Star Trek, the 2009 with hunky Chris Pine, another sexy cast.
With hot Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm. Another cast just full of hotties. With Bruce Greenwood, who was in National Treasure with Nicolas Cage.
That's another fun one, too.
It's so fun. And then Russell Hornsby was in the movie The Hate U Give with Common, who was in John Wick 2 with Keanu Reeves, who was in The Matrix with Lawrence Fishburne, who was in Running with the Devil with Nicolas Cage.
Nice. What the hell is the name of that Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal movie that was so ridiculous? I loved it.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes, I love that movie so much.
I do too. It still makes me just fucking laugh. It's so great.
Pedro Pascal's in it, which is like,
and he's so adorable. He's just like a little fanboy the whole time. And he is like in real life a Nick Cage fan. So he's like, I didn't really have to do a lot of acting.
So it's barely acting. He's just excited. And he doesn't die, right?
And he doesn't die. No, he doesn't. Yay! But it's not a TV show. All right. No. So speaking of TV shows, Meg, what else has been streaming in your bubble other than the 14 other things you've already mentioned?
Other than the 14 other things. Oh, God. Okay.
14 other things than those?
Well, so the season finale of 911 is next week. Well, as of this recording, it's next week. So I'm having a lot of feelings about that. And and again, this is a network TV show. So, it's really nice. This season, 18 episodes. You know when last season ended? Last was May, and it started up again in September. So we don't have 3 years between seasons for 8 episodes. We get full big girl episodes. So that I had mentioned Critical Role, which is just like, if you like, it's a tabletop D&D game. If you haven't heard of it, it's like probably the most famous D&D podcast or Dungeons and Dragons podcast or actual play YouTube show. I occasionally, it has another ship I like. Sometimes I just want to watch my babies fall in love with each other in ridiculous ways. This unfortunately just means I have 500 plus hours to watch of it happening, but it's delightful. It's fantastic. Specifically, Mighty Nine is what I'm watching. And then other than that, Last of Us season 2. Trying not to spoil my friends about stuff, which I will tell you, this is the Midwest goodbye, so you're just going to have to deal with it because this is how it goes. I have 2 friends who watch both of these shows. And spoiler alert for both 911 season 8 and The Last of Us season 2. These are big spoilers. So hopefully...
Is it season 2 spoilers for up to where we are currently at of episode 4?
It is season 2 spoilers to episode 2 of The Last of Us. Okay. The major. Yes. Okay. I have 2 friends who watch both 911 and The Last of Us. Neither of them are caught up on both. One of them is they're each caught up on one. Okay. Season 8. You don't watch 911, do you?
I do not know.
Okay. So season 8, Bobby Nash dies. Played by Peter Krause. Huge thing. Like the dad of the firehouse dies. My friend who is catching up on 911, part of the reason she started watching it is because I told her, and it was true at the time, the main cast has plot armor. Like it had been said that the main cast don't die. This is her favorite character. She doesn't know. She's not caught up. But she watches The Last of Us, is caught up on The Last of Us, and knows all of that stuff. So Bobby dies on Thursday. Joel dies on Sunday of the same weekend. Okay? I lost my dad and then my daddy in a few days. So my one friend knows about Joel, doesn't know about Bobby. Our mutual friend is not caught up on The Last of Us. Hopefully she will be by the time this airs because she's driving me crazy. Carla is not caught up on The Last of Us. She is caught up on 911. Carla knows about Bobby. No idea about Joel. No idea at all about any of it. So my dumb ass is stuck knowing all of it.
Oh, you poor thing.
With no one to talk to about it. Except my 16-year-old who happened to walk by, who's also catching up on 911, happened to walk by in the scene.
Oh, no.
So that's a long way of talking about what's going on in my bubble. Just trying to keep, begging people to catch up so I don't have to try and not spoil stuff. I've been on Carla's ass to watch The Last of Us because she's like, I don't want to catch up because I don't want to see Ellie and Ellie be mad at Joel.
Oh, don't worry.
And I was like, she's not for long.
Yes, it'll be fine.
So she doesn't want to start the season because she doesn't want them to be sad. She goes, just give them a break. And I'm like, well, something is going to break. Every bone in Joel's body.
And then your heart.
And then your heart and your soul. And then it's, oh God. So that's what I'm dealing with these days.
Damn.
So much more than you asked.
I mean, it is, but I still got what I expected.
I gotta keep you comfortable and safe in the expectation that I'm gonna go way more than what you want.
Thank you. So I have also been watching the Last of Us. So when this episode finally airs, because I will have finished the episode by episode recaps of the second season. So I'm very well aware of episode 2. And in that week, I had to watch Joel die. And then my husband and I are still rewatching Bones. And we get to
Sweets.
Not yet. We haven't hit Sweets. It was random facts intern when he died.
Michael Vincent.
Yes.
Or no, sorry. Michael Vincent is the baby's name. Vincent Nigel Murray.
Yes.
Was the intern's name.
Yes. And then when he's dying, he's like, I don't want to go. And it's like, oh my God, so fucking heartbreaking. So it's like the episode starts and we're like, it's like the big bad of the season or whatever.
The T-Rex.
Oh my God. Oh my. And he was like way too happy.
Bad? You mean Emotep? That's who it is.
It is. I was like, I know that guy.
Arnold, what the hell's his last name? Zulu or God damn it. Now I got to find it. Go ahead.
You don't have to. But so that was a very traumatic week for me. My husband is not watching The Last of Us, so I couldn't tell him about this on top of that. But it had been a week. This might have been after the hailstorm and everything. And we're just like, we just want to watch an episode of Bones, go to bed. And it starts and we're like, okay, so yeah, it's Imhotep and he's back. And I was like, I don't know. And as the episode continues, I was like, I think this is the one where Random Facts dies. And Tim's like, oh shit. And then he does. And he's like, episode ends. And Tim's just like, I'm sorry.
We're sad.
I was like, that's a fucking bummer. But yeah, so we're still watching Bones. Sweets is still alive and Bones is still pregnant, but she's like super pregnant. So she's got to be due like any fucking day now. Other than that, I just finished the 7th season of Black Mirror and I am started binging Mid-Century Modern last night. So didn't finish it because it was late and I got sleepy, but I am really enjoying that show. The laugh track, yes, is kind of obnoxious, but the whole cast just makes me smile. Matt Bomer
and Nathan Lane.
Yes, yeah. And I love it all so far. So it's kind of nice to go from, Black Mirror to something light and fun because life is about balance. God fucking damn it. So
right. Well, and yeah, I forgot. I watched North of North is a Netflix show. It's about an Inuit woman, and like she lives in the furthest north you can live in, like Antarctica and stuff like that. It's on Netflix. It's like 8 episodes. It's really fun. It gives me not quite Schitt's Creek vibes, but a little bit of that same kind of like quirky townsfolk and stuff like that. And that's a really fun one too. And it's a quick, like I said, 8 episodes, and I think they're hour-long episodes, but I don't know. It's it's fun though.
All right.
And it's a Native and it's a First Nation cast, which is awesome.
So gotta add that to my ever-growing watch list. So all right. But that's going to do it for us today because it probably is just a good idea. So
we could go for so much longer.
So much longer. On the most random shit. Not about the show.
I've already thought of new shit to talk about. And I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. I think I know the next one you and I should do. It'll be a movie, so it'll be fun. Aside from that. Okay, so I know the third one we'll do, or the second one we'll do. But Meg, until then, thank you so much for being here today, joining me to go on and on and on and on and on about Grimm and a bunch of other shit. It's been so long, and
it has.
Let's not do this again. But I forgot to mention your podcast at the beginning of the episode, co-host of Bedwetter Behead. Do you want to let the listeners know where they can go check that out?
Yeah, it's pretty much defunct now, but we have several back catalogs of episodes, and you can find that where all of the best podcasts are found. So Spotify, Apple, all of it. You can find it there. It's Bedwetter Behead, and it's basically me and Carla, my best friend, playing Fuck, Marry, Kill with fictional characters. You have been on it. It's fun. If you want to hear us be very drunk, you can listen to some of the beginning episodes because we tried to be smart and record 3 at a time. And by the third one, we are so gone. I think it's Criminal Minds is the one where we're talking. And I just keep talking about how David makes good pasta.
Oh my God.
It's very fun. It's character analysis through fuck, marry, kill. So
very nice. Love it. It's so much fun. So everyone, make sure you go check out Megan Carla's podcast. And to my lovely bubblies, thank you all for listening and keep streaming. Goodbye.
bye.
If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to let me know by rating and reviewing on a podcast player near you, and by sharing your favorite episodes with your friends, family, and mail carrier. Then be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. Just search My Streaming Bubble and I should pop on up there for ya. If you have suggestions on what I should stream in my bubble next, or you want to be tolerated, send an email to mystreamingbubble@gmail.com. Looking for merch? Stop by my Redbubble store where you can find and buy My Streaming Bubble stickers, hats, shirts, and more. You can also head over to buymeacoffee.com and, well, buy me a coffee. Need more podcast me in your life? Then be sure to check out my other podcast, Twin It to Win It. That's a monthly podcast that I co-host with my podcast brain twin, Erin from It's a Fandom Thing, where we test our twinningness by trying to guess if we both feel the same way about different horror movies. You can find and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. And most importantly, you can listen, rate, review, and share from most podcast players. Thank you for your support and keep streaming. Goodbye.